parietal bones, occipital bone. We have these cracks that are called suture lines going across. This is the coronal suture coming across this way. This is the sagittal suture going down the middle. And then this is the lambdoid, and in some books it's called lambdoidal suture line. Okay? Just a little thing that I'm going to show you on the inside of this skull is that there looks like lines inside the skull, kind of look like rivers. Can you see those? Mm-hmm. Okay, those are where the blood vessels on the brain are so close to the skull inside that the skull is actually grown around the blood vessels. So that gives you some idea, like when a baby has what's called shaken baby syndrome, where, you know, they say the brain gets kind of pulled back and forth in there, knocked around. It breaks those blood vessels. And that's why the baby gets so much head trauma or brain damage, okay? But that's what those are. Those are actually where the blood vessels were forming, and then as this person grew, the skull kind of formed around there, okay? So that's that part of the skull, alrighty? Okay, now we're going to look inside the skull, okay? So if you get your lab manual and turn to the inside of the skull, one thing you can notice on the diagrams, notice there are no teeth here, okay, because on some of the diagrams, the skull is like, I'll get it here. Let me get this off.
Why are their teeth so funky?
Okay. Skull's like that. It's that orientation. Okay, and you think you're looking at it like this. Look for the teeth. Okay? If there's teeth there, then it's not the inside, it's the underneath. Okay?
Yeah.
See? That'll throw you every time. So this is the underneath, this is the inside. Okay, now I asked you to look at the inside, and you have it there. Okay? You have, I'm going to tilt it here a little bit. Okay, I don't know about, you have a little thing coming down here in the middle on that drawing of yours, but you didn't label it, did you? No, it's not labeled. It's on the inside. Okay, it's on page 125. 125, Greer.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's this little pointy thing here, but you didn't label it. That thing has a name. It's called the crista. So draw a line over to
Wait,
it.
so right here?
No,
Oh, right
here,
here.
here, on top of this thing that looks like a sponge.
Okay.
Okay? Draw a line right to the middle. Okay? And it's called Crista, C-R-I-S-T-A, Galli, G-A-L-L-I. Okay? And then the thing that looks sort of spongy around it that has holes in it, on either side of it, that's called the crib, C-R-I-B, I-F-O-R-M, cribiform plate, okay? All right, it's like a crib, so Krista's sleeping in the crib. That help? All right. The cribiform plate on, it's that lacy thing, okay? See, you see, I'm gonna turn it, that's the lacy part, okay? And this is the Crista Galli.
Okay.
All right. So the lacy part is where the nerve from the olfactory part of your brain, the olfactory nerve rests in there, and then it sends little nerves down into the nose. And so that's how you get your sense of smell, because it goes up into, the odors go up into your nose, it gets picked up by those little nerve endings, it comes up through here, and then it goes to the brain.
Wait, the cribiform does that?
The cribiform plate is lacy like that. It has all those holes in it because those little nerves are going down in those holes. That's also the bone where they say if you hit somebody hard enough in the nose, you can send a bone up into the brain. Well, the Crista Galli is the one that'll break off, because this is real delicate, and it'll break off and it can go up in the brain. It's not going to kill somebody outright, but it'll maybe stop them in their tracks, and if they don't get to a doctor soon enough, it'll cause an infection in their brain. Okay, so that's the Crista Galli and the cribiform plate. Okay, now, from there, we have the sphenoid bone, the lesser wings and the greater wings, okay? And so the lesser, I don't know how to do this, that you're gonna be able to see it with that thing, and still they're gonna be able to see it, okay? The lesser, I'll turn it first this way. The lesser wing is up here, okay? And the greater wing is down here, all right? So the greater's down here, the lesser's here. Now I'm gonna turn it for you guys, okay? The lesser is up here, and the greater is down here, okay? It looks like a butterfly wings, or some people say this part looks like a manta ray or stingray, you know, the front of it, okay? Notice what happens when I stick this pipe cleaner and it comes up in there. See it coming up? Okay, that's the optic foramen. That's where the optic nerve is coming up from the eye into that area, and there's the other one, okay? So those are called optic foramens, okay? The next part down here looks like a little saddle, okay? And they couldn't leave that alone. They had to give it a name, so it's called the Turk's saddle or the sella turcica, okay? And the gland that rests there is the pituitary gland. So there's a little trivia question for you. So if they have to get to the pituitary gland and operate on it, they have to go up through the nose because they can't get to it any other way. Okay? So they go up through the nose. Okay? All right, so we have cristagalli, cribriform plate, sphenoid bone, lesser wings, greater wings. The hole up in there is the optic foramen. And then this little part right here, I think I got my finger in the right spot, that's the sella turcica, okay? All right, what else do you need to know? Oh, this big hole here, that's the magnum foramen, or some people say foramen magnum. Foramen means hole. Magnum means big, okay? So that's the foramen magnum, all right? Okay? And I'm not going to worry about the jugulars and the valves and the
Internal auditory.
yeah, the internal. We're not going to worry about any of those. Those are going to be on the diagram because on these it's pretty hard to tell. Okay? All right, so that's all you need to really know on the inside of the skull. Okay?
Why are
All
his
right.
teeth weird?
Pardon?
Why are his teeth like so much different than normal?
So that's a real person's
Because this is real and this is not.
Is that what his teeth looked like?
What?
Is that what his like teeth like looked like?
Well, they rotted off. She didn't have a good set of teeth. In fact, she lost one. And these are kind of moving around. So when you're working with the skull, be careful with it because this is real. This is a real skull. Okay? Okay?
I just feel like that looks so little compared to like how big my head looks.
Well, now you got to remember, on your head you have all kinds of muscle going over it, so it's just not skull.
Yeah.
Okay?
Like our age or was
Yeah.
she older?
Pardon?
Was she older or was she?
I'm thinking she was older. Yeah. Yeah, and she really didn't have good dental hygiene. Yeah. That's why the male skeleton up there is so expensive because it has a full set of teeth and they're in good shape.
Wait, so why can't you get that kind of skeleton anymore?
Because they don't